The other piece of, I don't know if it's news, but at least it was a story for a while because our friend Bob Nightingale wrote about it last week, that the Cubs may be a sleeper candidate to land Shohei Ohtani, the most exciting player in baseball who will become a free agent next year. One of the most anticipated free agents in baseball history. Rumors and speculation that he could be the first $500 million player in baseball. I think that's actually not hyperbole. I think it's reasonable because he's essentially two players, two all-star players, two MVP players in
Right.
one. So uh, the story was written based on conversations that Nightingale had with several uh, MLB executives throughout the league. So it's not just him speculating. It is people in the know are speculating that. So, and I think there's legs to that. Just like I've always said, the Cubs have the money. It doesn't matter. They actually have like I want to say, well, with these new extensions, I think they still have $50 million coming off the books next year, and they're still not at the de facto salary cap. And if they so choose, they can always blow through that and just pay a little bit more. So I don't think it's outrageous to think that Shohei Ohtani could be a Cub. I think it would be incredible. I think it would make sense for their emerging marquee network to get more eyeballs as they clearly are getting this year. Finally, I haven't seen the ratings last year to this year so far, but I can tell you I'm having much more fun and watching more Cubs games this year already than I did by the end of last year, just because there's recognizable talent on the field for the first time in quite some time. So I think that would fit into their business strategy. I think anybody would love to have him on their team. The issue, of course, is it's going to be a 10-year deal, 50 million a year at minimum, something like that. I That's always scary, and that's killed my Tigers. As we see with Miguel Cabrera, how his swan song season now, he's just a liability and a shadow of his former self. Um, you worry about maybe the health of Otani. Um, over time, trying to do both. Is he really going to be that dual player for long? Is he going to
Yeah,
have to stop
that's
pitching
the
at some
biggest.
point?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
biggest.
So I just think it's interesting that the Cubs. I guess always assume they should be involved because I think they should be involved with every major free agent. But
You
to
sure
have
do.
a to have a to have a national writer writing about it and citing MLB executives having that opinion too, I thought that was could be a fun thing to speculate about.
Yeah, I mean the line started to get drawn because the Cubs were in the finals for him originally.
Yeah, he was.
And
They
they
were on
beat.
his list of teams he would actually be interested in going to.
So
So
that's how that conversation started. My only the I think everything he said is like dead on. I mean, the Cubs have the money to do it. They're an organization that obviously right now is trending upward. They've put these guys in place, to your point, in a 3-year window, which would be
hmm
attractive to Ohtani. That like, hey, we've got this nucleus together. Come play. Our goal with adding you is to take us to that next level to win another World Series. I just, I just don't see him leaving the West Coast.
Yeah.
That's I don't see him going to the Yankees. I don't see him like coming to the Midwest. I just don't. I think he's gonna end up. I don't think it's gonna be with the Angels, but I think the drunken sailor Padres will make a $55 million fucking offer to $550 million offer to him, or
Yeah.
even we know the Giants have the money to do it too.
No, that could be
Um,
interesting there. Yeah, that's
so, but if depending on what his intentions are, I think outside of the Padres, which I don't even know how they'd work the numbers, the Cubs are more attractive than the Giants probably are, right? At if we're talking today. So
yeah.
so but yeah, we'll
The
see.
There's a one other mitigating factor that might be minuscule or might be bigger than we think, but that's the presence of Seiya Suzuki, Japanese
Oh,
player
true. That. Yeah, no, that's a plus.
who
Yeah.
actually just came back and hit a home run after an oblique injury kept him out for the beginning of the season. He is revered in Japan, and I don't know that they have that. I'm not sure if they have a friendship or if they are or close at all, but I know that Suzuki is definitely looked up to in Japan baseball circles, so that might be
Yeah,
another
there's
mitigating factor.
you got that right. I forgot about that. I think that's a huge plus. I mean, look at the Sox. It's like a Cuban pipeline. I mean,
Yeah,
they get players because of all the bigger Cuban players they've signed because of Jose Abreu,
they
because of the
wanted to play
mini
with Jose. Yeah,
yeah, the mini Minoso legacy
yeah.
there. So like, yeah, it works. So yeah, I forgot about that. That has me leaning a little bit
See,
now.
that's why people need to listen to Major League A-holes in the hole, because you forget about things. So
Yeah, I've been talking for weeks now about not having the weighted schedule within the division and how it's going to affect all these teams. So blah.
mm.
Everyone wake up.
Good job by you.
Oh, let me pat myself on the back.
Word Hole Media.